happy
Let's
that
go.
the third one is going to be Nobu Pilates fam. It totally makes sense. And,
I know.
you know, we're still just riffing off the Everybody is a Pilates Body campaign. And it's been really nice. Thank you, everybody that's been sending in questions and you're sending in your thoughts and feelings, because it is a really important discussion to have. And if you haven't been directly sort of affected by it, you know somebody who is, and like who has like those barriers in the way. So it's really nice to have these conversations. And we're today going to be talking to Poppy. Poppy is obviously on my Nobu Pilates squad. She's my right hand woman, and she's such an incredible instructor. So I'm going to ask you, how did you find Pilates, and how did you get into this profession? How did you have this passion ignite?
So my background was in dancing and performing. I went on to train professionally at a college called the Erdang Academy in London. Movement was always such an important and vital piece of my life. And I'd done a reformer Pilates class, and I was just like, wow. Like,
where did you do it?
I done it. I was working in Gym Box, and I done it at Tempo Pilates, which is where I went on to work after. Just honestly, I fell in love, and just the way it made my body feel straight away, I knew that it was something special, and I knew that I had to go on and do my training. It just felt like such a nice natural progression for my career to go in. Like, it really mirrored my dance training, you know. Like the movements were all so graceful and so controlled. Like it felt like my dance training was like I was still, you know, using it, and it was just another way to, it was my new way to express myself.
I pull it back to this campaign that we've been doing, the Pilates body term. You know, sometimes it has put barriers in the way of people even giving it a try, especially like we find men, right? Like they don't see themselves in the imagery that's going out, and therefore might put something in the way of them even trying it. Or, you know, it could be down to anything, down to sort of body shape and stuff. Like, what's been your experience with clients, or any of your experiences with that term?
Oh, well, when I personally think of the term Pilates body, it's like it's got nothing to do with the aesthetic and the way it looks. No, I think back to why I started Pilates and my reasoning, and it was because I'd done that class, and the way it made my body feel. I felt so empowered, I felt so strong that I was like, I knew I needed to do more. So it's completely not to do with the aesthetic for me. Pilates body is one that's like resilient. It's like reducing injury or recovering your body from injury. It's prepping you for like your future self, you know. It's like for them everyday life stress. Like that's the Pilates body for me. And I think that's what we have to bring it down to. Like, why was Pilates created? You know, it wasn't for all about the aesthetic.
What are your personal reasons now?
Like your future self, for like my older self, you know. I'm training to be able to like get out the bath with ease in 20-30 years time, and be able to, you know, pick up my future children with like, you know, no pain. So I think it's just completely like building my body that will last me like a lifetime, you know. For me it's like building my future self and a strong body for 30 odd years time.
Definitely. Future proofing. I think Joseph Pilates was way ahead of his time. Like, we're all into biohacking now, but Pilates is that, right? It's
literally
like keeping you young in how you stand and how you move and how you continue to like build on your foundations of strength even when you're getting into 60s and 50s. You make a classical class different, unique and fun. I'm interested in your answer on this, actually.
I love that. Well, I feel like that's where like the magic of classical comes into play, because you feel like you've especially with clients that I see week on week, like they're getting so much stronger every week. You know, they know the move, hundreds, gosh, they're up there doing it. But then just when they feel like they're strong and they've accomplished it, you're like, okay, we're going to take that over to the chair. You're going to do it over there, and you're going to find even more challenge. I think that's like, the magic in the classical method is you can do the same exercise, you can take it on a different piece of equipment, and then at first they might not even realize that they're doing that same exercise, and you're like, oh, you remember that exercise? This is the exact same thing, but in a different body orientation or a different piece of equipment, and they're like, oh yeah, like so I think, you know, that was what drew me to like the classical method. I feel like it never gets boring. There's so 100%. Much you can do.
Someone asked, what is your number one piece of advice for a current apprentice teacher?
Oh, good one. I think definitely ask all of the questions. You know, I think when I think back to my training, there was definitely points where I was questions in my head and I was thinking, I don't know, is a silly question to ask? Like, no question is silly, you know, like that's your one time, or you know, like 12 months you get. Like, embrace it, ask all of the questions. You've got like the people with the most amazing knowledge. Ask all the questions, you know, stay in your own lane, don't get distracted by your peers, because it's a big group of people that you're doing the course with, right? And everyone's at different, you know, different levels or has different knowledge. Don't get distracted by your peers, stay in your lane, and yeah, just kind of like say, yeah, I don't know, take it all
It's
in. It's
true,
a lot,
because it's your own
lot.
personal journey as well as a journey of like
Yeah,
learning how to be a teacher. I agree.
exactly. Yeah,
Do you know how
yeah.
I've always described it? I've always
Go
thought
on.
of it, you know, when you're learning how to drive
Yeah,
and like you're given the technique and you do
yeah.
this when your hands go here and those are the road signs, and you're learning the whole piece through the manual and through the instructor.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
my advice to current teacher training candidates is you don't actually start learning until you pass the course. The
So
course
true.
is an excellent foundation for you to learn within a safe structure,
Yeah,
but actually the real learning starts like
real
within
people.
yourself, within the several different body types,
Yeah.
injuries, and real life clients. Like even like someone's mood from one day to the next, like managing
Yeah.
things like that is like a huge learning for yourself as a person and as an instructor. So I would
It
say
is.
like just take some time, because I think sometimes people do the course, qualify, and then they think they have to go to this workshop and
Yeah.
learn this, but actually simmer in
Slow.
the knowledge that you've just got for a bit and like digest it differently to how you were fed it on the course. Because I've taught the 100 a million times and
Yeah.
every time I teach it to someone different, it's a
Yeah.
different experience for both of us.
It's
So
so
I would
true.
just say, yeah, just simmer in the moment and like don't feel like you have to know absolutely everything right now.
No. You literally do learn when you start teaching them real bodies. And I think it was James that said it a couple of weeks ago. When you first start teaching, it's like you literally want to, well, my mentality was the same as his. You want to like kill that person, you want to give them the hardest workout ever, so they're sweating, doing all the pulses, all like everything. And it's like
Yeah,
got to the point now, and it's not about that.
yeah,
Someone might come in and you judge the session on, like you said, how they're feeling, and you have to be able to
yeah,
adapt, you know, and look at the body. Like, I'd say less is definitely more as well. When I first started teaching,
yeah.
you want to say all the words, you want to say all the anatomical cues and all the words, because it sounds, you know, you sound so knowledgeable and it sounds great. But in reality, nobody knows what cranial vertebral flexion is, or even flexion hardly, you know? It's like, in reality,
Please
say
say that in your
less,
next
say less.
session.
I know cranial, no one will move. No one will move. So it's like, you know, less is more. Like,
Yeah,
choose your words, and that's the amazing thing that I learned on the
yeah,
classical course. Choose the words, people will listen more
yeah,
rather than saying everything. And when you first start, you first qualified, you might want to, you know, get into that trap where you're just talking because it sounds really good.
yeah.
But it sounds good to you, but to reality, to the client, they might not even know what you're talking about.
100%.
So just, you know, less, yeah,
It's,
less is more, I'd
if
say.
you look at it, for the person who asked that
Mm.
question, you
Yeah,
as a new instructor is like a new client. You're
yeah,
not going to throw the whole system at a new client
no,
on their first day. You're
no,
taking that journey with them. So
yeah,
take those steps for yourself, like
mhm,
perfect 5 of the mat moves
yeah,
with how
yeah,
you want to speak it, not how the manual says it. Train your
yeah,
eye to,
yeah,
okay, I taught
yeah,
the 100 to that person, but this person receives it differently
yeah,
and is more of a visual
yeah.
learner. Like start learning things like that.
And I
But
think
it's a really
we
nice
need to
question.
remember. We need to remember, like, the people that we're teaching don't have the same brain that we have, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, everything's like hundreds, you know, we know it, we know the breath, we know
Mm.
the counting, we know, but some people, you know, they can't pick things up as quick as us. So it
Yeah.
is really like, yeah, learning to adapt to the session. Some people love to, like, you know, go quick and they'll get it really challenging, but some people, they need to move slower. So it's,
Yeah.
yeah, judging
It's
people.
honoring the type of learner each client is, right? Some people are like good with words, some people are better with visuals. Like you have to go on that journey.
Yeah.
What message do you have for those, you know, who've heard the term Pilates body? They go online, they see something that doesn't represent them. I felt that way. Like, I feel like the imagery that goes out doesn't represent myself, I must say. What do you say to those who are feeling a little bit anxious or nervous about even coming into the studio? How would you advise them?
I mean, you know, it's easy to say, but it's like you'll never know until you try, right? And the great thing about Pilates is it's so adaptable for each person. You know, there's a reason Joseph Pilates has done beginner, intermediate, advanced, all these modifications. Like, it's not one size fits all. So, you know, you will come, and you just won't know until you try. Like, it's really easy for me to say, I know, but the benefits are just like endless.
I think that was a big thing of how we've hired our team, right? Like, it wasn't just skill set. Like, skill set is definitely a huge one. For those, I'm going to answer this now because a lot of people do ask me. I look for classical qualified instructors, but that's not to say that I don't like or embrace contemporary. But I do feeling that when people have a classical background, they've got a very solid foundation, and then they can add the contemporary in with a better understanding. So when I'm hiring, I'm looking for that. And I like to know that not only are my instructors highly qualified in that method, in, like, you know, the extra workshops you guys go and do on pregnancy, on knee issues and shoulder issues, but actually you're making it a very, very safe place for people, because we all remember how we felt on our first session. And even, like, I've been active my whole life, I was intimidated by it. I can say that. But we will always remember that, and we'll always honor that with new people that come in, to make sure that they feel safe and actually they just have a fun time. Like, because actually, let's not forget, Pilates is fun.
Exactly. I feel like that's the one thing that I pride in, like, my classes. Honestly, I love getting to know the clients, the people that come week on week, and it's like, it's the best feeling being able to challenge them more, or, like, you know, get to know their bodies and what they're capable of, and giving them the modifications, or, you know, just that's the best feeling.
I'm loving it.
Such lovely little comments.
Good. Thank God we love our job. Were there any questions in the comments, Pops? Because maybe I have to control it. This is where, guys, I'm really sorry. I'm not.
There was somebody's asked, did you do STOT? And yes, I did do STOT. I done the MAT course first, and then I done the reformer course secondly. And it's so fun.
Poppy's being STOT change, right? Like, so you can, if you are a STOT teacher apprentice and you need to get your hours signed, you can go to a Poppy class and she can sign off your hours officially. Who else on our team is STOT trained? Nadia?
Nadia's STOT trained.
Is Matteo?
I think that might be it. Matteo might be, I think Matteo is actually, Matteo and Nadia.
Okay, so if anybody out there is on the STOT course and you need to get your hours signed, and you can come to Poppy, Nadia. We think Matteo will verify that and get your hours signed off.
Love it.
Any other questions? Oh, somebody from Michigan. This is so cool. Hi.
I know, right? I'm in Michigan. Amazing.
This is so fun. Pops, this is your Sunday night, and you see me every single day, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. But these have been so fun.
My first live.
Thanks, Marsh. No, it's okay. You're going to be doing some interviews soon, right? So I think I'm next week, and then maybe you're the week after. So everybody watch on our Instagram stories. We always announce who the next person is. And they're always fun. We love our community. So hopefully we'll see you on the next live next week, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy your Sunday night. Bye, Pop.
Thanks. Bye.